For today's Cyber CEO episode,
I can't say enough about Charlotte. She's awesome and so smart and so quick to catch on. She and I are Mutt and Jeff almost, or, yin and yang, or whatever you want to say. I mean, it's a wonderful thing to be able to connect with a person and feel, that camaraderie, like, we're on the same team. And, she just fills the gaps that I have. Charlotte, you are the best. And I just so appreciate you. I value your consistency, your patience with me, your sweet, sweet nature, your humility, and you just have such a big heart.
welcome to Cyber CEO, wherein we talk about how our cyberbackers helped our cyber CEOs take their businesses to the next level. Cyber CEO is powered by Cyberbacker, the world's leading provider of admin support services from anywhere in the world to anyone in the world. Please visit our website www.cyberbacker.com for more details. Another awesome day here in Cyberbacker. My name is 𝗙𝗹𝗹𝗶𝗹. We're back with another episode of Cyber CEO. And of course, we have a very special guest on the show. Barbara, how are you doing today?
I'm doing great. Thank you, 𝗙𝗹𝗹. It's good to see you.
Now, we're very excited to have you, and we really want to appreciate you. And thank you for your time, because I know you have a lot of things to do. So we really appreciate you being on the show. Now, to start things off, to let you know, we have a lot of listeners who are business owners, just like yourself. So I need your help. Can you introduce yourself to our audience? Maybe we can start with, what's your role in the business, Barbara?
Well, my business is, I am a realtor. I am a licensed realtor with 𝗙𝗪𝗏𝗋∠ and love what I'm doing, experience in all kinds of things, but this is where I am right now.
How long have you been in the world of real estate, Barbara?
5 years.
5 years now. Okay. Now, how about working with someone virtual, just like what you're doing now with your Cyberbacker? Is this your first time doing it?
COVID taught us a lot, didn't it?
True.
So just the whole Zoom meeting is so much more comfortable than ever. I mean, who ever heard of it before we had the pandemic, for sure. But yes, as far as working with someone, where I physically am not with that person in the room, this is the first time.
All right. First go at the virtual leverage piece then. Now, was it a big change for you, Barbara? Because I know in any kind of business, we're kind of used to working with people that we can meet face to face most of the time. Now, everything's going a bit more virtual. So how was the transition for you and your business?
That's a good question, 𝗙𝗹𝗹. I felt it at first. It was a little awkward, but you guys are so friendly and so much fun, and you just make everything such a joyful experience that it just fits my personality. Fun is like a real big value for me. And so I just, just laugh along the way, and we just have a good old time. It doesn't seem like a big deal now. And so I'm just thrilled that I have a young cyberbacker that can help me. As long as I can share a screen with her, she can, get me to where I need to be, because there are things that I still struggle with, but we work it out. It's been fun.
I like what you mentioned. One of your values is fun, because that's a match right there, because Cyberbackers, one of our core values here in Cyberbackers is also fun, which is very, very important, of course. Now, how were you introduced to Cyberbacker anyway? How did you find out about us?
I took a coaching class, a MAPS coaching class, which is through Keller Williams. And it was about the language of sales. That was what it was called. And at the end of the language of sales, we had a young lady come and talk to us virtually, of course, and shared about cyberbackers. There was a lot of enthusiasm that she expressed. And I just got very curious about it at that point. And then, she invited us to Game Room. That's what it was. So I signed up for Game Room, and I couldn't, get into that fast enough, to be honest with you. I wanted to practice my skills, and I've been part of Game Room for probably 6 months at least now. And love that. Had no idea that that was connected to Cyberbackers. I had heard of a man named 𝗙𝗃𝗃 that had started a company where he brought in virtual assistants from various parts of the world, and was very curious about that early on. And when this all kind of came together through Game Room, I said, this must be for me, because it just had intrigued me. I had heard about it in so many different ways. My MAPS coach had talked about Craig's company that he had started with Cyberbackers. And then I went to Mega Camp, which is a big training in Austin, which is our corporate office, not too far from where I live in San Antonio. Loved. I was shocked to see these little robots with the little screen. And I spent, it seems like, hours there just talking to each one of the Cyberbackers. They had their heads on the, the head was an iPad, I guess, a tablet of sorts, attached to a robot, which actually was traversing through the convention center. And the funny thing was that during Game Room, we had been told that Cyberbackers was going to be there, but y'all would not tell us like how that was going to happen. Like, knew y'all were overseas. Like, how is that going to be? And so it was such a fun surprise. And then the folks on each little screen, I would go to them and say, "Oh, Barbara," and they'd recognize me. I was like, "Oh my God." It was just love at first sight. Let me just tell you that. I just fell in love with Cyberbackers, just the enthusiasm, the fun, it was a good fit. And then I saw them again at Her Best Life, which was a women's event, a training in October. So just a couple months ago. And I said, I've already got my Cyberbacker. We're done. We're good. I was already a couple months into my connection with my Cyberbacker. So it was all good. So all the stars aligned.
All the stars aligned is what you mentioned. Love at first sight. Perfect partnership.
Yes.
Right there.
Yes.
Now,
Yes,
I can already feel that you have a really great relationship with your current Cyberbacker then. Am I right? Can you just feel it in the energy?
Yes. Oh, yes, absolutely. She's awesome. I can't say enough about Charlotte. She and I are so, if you just think of Mutt and Jeff almost, or, yin and yang, or whatever you want to say. I mean, I'm like up there in age, and she's like over here. I'm a baby boomer. I'm a late baby boomer. And I don't know, she's young. She's very young and so smart and so quick to catch on. And I just love it. It's a wonderful thing to be able to connect with a person and feel, that camaraderie, like, we're on the same team. And, she just fills the gaps that I have, which a big part of it, of course, is social media, technology in general. And just, I'm an idea person, and I tend to jackrabbit or jump around, chasing squirrels a lot. And I forget to write the systems out, and I know what's going on in my head, but for somebody else to follow that. So, a big part of what we're doing right now, especially we're in the third month, and a big part of it is really analyzing and refining systems, which is going to be so helpful as I scale my business. I'm very, very excited about that.
Yeah, that's going to be exciting stuff. For more things for her to do, more opportunities to grow for the both of you, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Now, talk to me about the hiring process. That's the first thing that you had to go through before you got to work with your Cyberbacker. So how did you make the decision, though, going through that process, that Charlotte is the perfect Cyberbacker for your needs and your business, of course?
Yes, of course. Man, that was tough. And I was not prepared for the number of very, very fine candidates that were available. I was totally floored by that. I mean, y'all prepared me, told me that, I don't remember, 34, 45 candidates. It was like Hollywood squares, on the Zoom screen. And I was just amazed at their interest and their enthusiasm. That was just the first meet and greet, right? We didn't really talk to each other. And then from there, they had done some type of assessment, like a personality assessment, skills assessment or whatever, and then compared it to my needs assessment, my personality assessment that y'all had given me. And then y'all found, I want to say 5 candidates.
Usually 5 candidates.
Yes, right. And then you prepared me with questions to ask, which I loved because I have never interviewed anybody. My background is that I'm a music teacher, elementary music teacher, and retired from that. And I'm a musician, church musician. So I've always been like it, I'm the one that does it, and somebody's going to hire me, but I've never hired anybody else. So that was really important to get those questions. And then when we did the 5 candidates, there was a couple of them that bubbled up to the top immediately. Charlotte was one of them. And I think the reason that I really appreciated and wanted to work with Charlotte was 2 things. One, she had actually done her research on me. So she had already looked me up on social media. And when I mentioned something, asked a question or whatever, she told me that she had looked me up, not stalking me necessarily, just trying to find out more about me. And none of the other candidates had done that. So that was really big. Yeah, it was a huge plus. I was very impressed. She takes a lot of initiative, and I need somebody like that. The other thing that really impressed me about Charlotte was that she was very humble. They all were. But the thing that was so sweet about her is when I asked, what is something that you think might be a negative, that people have reflected to you that might be a negative in hiring you? And her answer was that she was too young. And I thought, oh my gosh, I thought that was so sweet. And just because I had already read her resume and all the things that she had accomplished, and that she's, in marketing school and so on and so forth. And, she's top of her class. And just to hear her say that she was too young, I thought, that's the one. I need somebody young with energy, and just her. I just could feel that was the connection that I needed. So
basically, just going through that final set of interviews, you just knew that Charlotte was the perfect cyberbacker then for you.
Exactly. I did. And I haven't been disappointed. That's for sure.
All right. That's good to know. That's good to know. Now, as I mentioned earlier, I can already feel the energy between the both of you, you and Charlotte, your cyberbacker. Now, I know it doesn't always start out that way right away, because you have to work on the relationship, as they say. So how did this become a successful partnership between the both of you? Do you have any tips that you can share with our audience? Maybe they can use it to, of course, when they're going through the hiring phase that we offer here in Cyberbacker too.
I tried to be very transparent with her and let her know that, this obviously was my first time to have somebody that I was training. I try to be very honest. I don't know it all for sure, and I don't want to come off that way. And I think with her, the humility that she came to the table with, but with the ample knowledge coupled with the ample knowledge, and my just willingness to say, I'm not going to pretend to be the pro at this, but let's get going. And, that really helped. Also, one of the things that your company does, which was really helpful for us to get off the ground, was I think after we'd hired her, I can't remember exactly where it was in the process, but you gave me a plan request. Like I needed to figure out what my plan was. And then you gave me a template of someone else's. And I don't know if it was 2 templates or what, but I thought, oh, yes, no. And then I could work from there. And it was very, very helpful into this, we're still going through that. She, is very eager to accomplish everything. To make sure that we're building, the foundation to continue on.
I think that's the most important part, being ready. And again, setting proper expectations for your cyber. I think that's a good way to start the partnership, 30, 60, 90 plan for your Cyberbacker. Because also, talk to me about the communication that you have, though, because I think that's a key part of any kind of partnership, the communication. So how do you communicate with your Cyberbacker? Do you do Zoom calls, video calls, phone calls only, text messages?
That's a good question. We do all of the above, and I wasn't sure at first if we needed like Monday Zoom every morning, and we might get to that point. I'm not sure that we need it yet, but we do all the above. Zoom, especially, once or twice a week as needed. At this point, we do a lot of texting. I think the biggest communication tool that is consistent is Charlotte's giving me a report at the beginning of the day. This is what she's planning to do. And at the end of the day, and she does the beginning and end. And I know that's part of your system.
Yes.
I respect and admire that so much. Sometimes I respond to them, sometimes I don't, but I know she's there working. I know that she's, clocked in.
She's there.
And she shows me what she's accomplished by the end of the day, and it's all color coded. And that I love that because I go for that. I know that she's doing her job. And, when we come across projects that we need to work on, sometimes the two of us have an idea of what we want, but we're not quite sure how to execute it. And at that point, oftentimes we bring in her head backer, Neil, who's been awesome. Yep, he is awesome. And we typically do a 3-way, Zoom call with him. And that makes everything easier for both of us, because she's reporting to him as well as far as her goals, their together goals. And then they hear from me what I'm trying to accomplish. So we had for instance, the first month I had a kind of a complicated process that I wanted to have them build through Command, our CRM, and they got it figured out and it works. Communication is key, and we do communicate. But that's the consistent piece, is her emails every day. Yeah.
Emails, everything. Consistent communication. That's the key, I think, to any kind of partnership.
Charlotte, you are the best. And I just so appreciate you. I value your consistency, your patience with me, your sweet, sweet nature, your humility, and you just have such a big heart. And I just want to wish you the very, very best. She knows this already, but Charlotte sent me a picture of her family, a card, the very first couple of weeks. And it has a picture of her family, and that's right above my computer. And I just love seeing your family there every day. My family is aware that, you're part of my family now, is basically what it is. So I just want you to know how much I love working with you. I appreciate you. And if there's anything I can do to support you and in what you do for, that how you're building your career and your education and anything like that, I would just so much be thrilled to be there for you and support. So
we are very, very excited to see where this partnership grows to, of course, for the next couple of months. And again, Barbara, thank you very much for dropping by. I hope this isn't the last time that we get to do this.
Oh, thank you. I so appreciate it, 𝗙𝗪𝗪. It was fun.
Thank you for listening to our daily dose of Cyber CEO. Stay tuned to know more about how Cyberbacker creates a difference in this digital time and age. You can visit our website www.cyberbacker.com and follow our social media pages on Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, YouTube, and Spotify.